Hi, welcome to session number 2. Today we're going to explore a little bit about the first chapter in success-driven logic titled The Game Changer. It starts with it identifying two essentials that seem and are so basic that they can make a world of difference in your game. First one, a physical skill set, hold your follow-through. The follow-through is the most critical part of your approach and delivery. Hold it. Now that seems pretty straightforward and easy, but can you hold it until the ball hits the pins? Challenge yourself. See if you can. In the moments of tight competition, sometimes our follow-through erodes. It is an important cornerstone. It is fundamental to your success to hold your follow-through. Those of you just starting to journey down the trail of self-improvement, you will recognize the difference in holding your follow-through simply by being on target more often. That is that simple. It is that simple. Just hold your follow-through. The second part, a mental skill. Breathe. Again, amazingly simple. A nice, deep, easy breath to help relax and help focus you. I might tag on to that. Keep your eyes focused on what matters. It's not the people around you. It's not the score. It's not your opposition. It's not your parents, your significant others. If you have trouble doing that, keeping your eyes focused on what's important, keep your head down. Ignore stuff. After those two essential skills, we move into something called game plan. Now, the first time I became aware of game plan, I thought, I had it all cased. I knew about game plan. You go practice, right? And then when you come to the lanes to bowl in a tournament or a league, you go bowl. End of story. Well, there's more to it than that. The more to it part is important. Why? Because it establishes a routine and a habit. Routines and habits are important because they allow you to give yourself an anchor for when things tend to get a little foggy for you or a little off balance. So, a game plan. What exactly is the game plan? Well, a game plan begins with feeling simply glad that you're coming to the bowling center on the day for the event that you are. Being glad, being optimistic. Walking in the door, I noticed that there are, if I could back up a bit, I noticed that there are really two factors to game plan. The pre-arrival arrival, which I lump into one, and what you do in recovery. And recovery is about when your game starts to fall apart. When you start to notice, oh, I'm punching a lot now, or I'm getting frustrated, or maybe you're even bordering on being angry with yourself. Maybe you're getting distracted easily. Maybe you're just not feeling it today. So let's take a look at those two factors. The pre-arrival arrival, your game plan for pre-arrival and arrival. The pre-arrival is recognizing that you're coming with an optimistic and glad spirit. You're glad to come. It's not a whole humdrum thing that you have to go through the motions, da-da-da-da. No. Set the tone by wanting to be there and being optimistic about what's about to transpire. Arrival. Picture yourself opening the door, walking into the bowling center. You may say hi to the staff that are there, bowlers around you. Do you have a vivid picture of what it looks like as you arrive into that bowling center? Can you find yourself a quiet space to kind of call your own, where you will put your bowling bag and your jacket and your shoes, get ready for bowling? Can you find that quiet place that you can kind of call your own, so that when you are struggling and you need a bit of a break, you've got a place you can go to? The second part of that arrival plan is what you do pre-game start. just before the games are starting. You're stretching, okay? What will that stretching look like? Rehearse it in your head. Know what that stretching is going to look like. Go through some simulations of your approach and delivery on the lane. Without a ball, with a ball. Do it even going down the lanes as you are progressing through each game. So if you started on lane 5 and 6, you've seen the lane draw, you're on 5 and 6. Simulate 5 and 6, move to 7 and 8, da-da-da. Do each lane. Get comfortable with those lanes. Then return to your lane and throw some balls. It's as simple as that. But it's understanding that it is a routine and a habit you will get into. It is not, comparatively speaking, walking into the bowling center in a rush, tossing down your bag, taking out your shoes, and getting ready to bowl, getting a drink. No. It is about a calculated plan for you to be ready to bowl. All right? That's it. Now, the recovery phase. The recovery is what you do when you sense that there's a certain amount of angst, distraction, your game isn't what you'd like it to be. Remember at the beginning I mentioned, can you find a quiet spot for yourself where you left your bowling bag, maybe your jacket, whatever, since it's a winter sport. At least it's a winter sport in Saskatchewan. Anyway, a place where you can leave all your goods. Have you found a place where you can just call it your own, sit down, head down? If not, that's fine. Can you simply walk with a purposeful, slow effort down the concourse area of the bowling center, ignoring the people around you, etc.? The recovery process is about you giving yourself a chance to simply breathe and relax, to maybe give yourself physically a shake, and then you may start trying to problem solve. I have a finger routine that I use. Imagine this. You have 5 fingers, 4 fingers and a thumb. All right, but here we go. We've got our follow through, our speed, lift, rotation, release and rotation together. Now, imagine this 5 as being your optimal performance. What does it look like? Now, if you take your other hand and match it up, does it match perfectly? Where do you feel that your approach and delivery is out of sync? Is it out of sync at the beginning? Is it out of sync at the end? Chances are an error is out of sync at the end caused by a problem at the beginning, such as speed. Slow down. Take a slower, smaller first step. All right, lift, getting the ball out on the lane. Okay, things that happen later on. By using this finger routine, you can kind of superimpose your current image on top of your ideal image and hopefully be able to identify where it does not quite match up. All right? That's the idea behind that. You may or may not like that. That's okay. Another possibility is to simply work at remembering what it feels like to throw well, ignoring the mistakes that are being made, and rehearsing in your mind's eye what it feels like to throw well. Yeah, ignoring the mistakes, letting them go, leaving them alone, take them out of the picture, and just focus on what it feels like to throw well. If you think that you are in need of a lane adjustment because you're consistently finding that you're getting a lot of chops or head pins and slowing down isn't working, then you make an adjustment accordingly, whatever you feel will work best for you. The goal of the recovery plan is simply that, to give you an opportunity to recover without distraction around. Hence, a quiet place or a routine or a habit of just going for a slow, methodical walk, head bowed, ignoring the things and people around you. Okay? So developing a game plan is huge. It's basic, simple, not complicated. I want to take a moment also to talk about follow-through. As much as I've said follow-through is part of our 2 essentials, I haven't really talked a lot about follow-through. Follow-through consists of 3 parts: what we do with our legs, our torso, and our arms. If you've been around bowling, you're aware of that. But it's amazing how few people actually execute the best follow-through that they could possibly do. This is not about making a carbon copy textbook follow-through. It's about using your legs and your torso and your arms to maximize the quality of control you can have over the release of your ball and the delivery of your ball. So follow-through becomes quite detailed as we go through the other chapters, but I want to just touch on those 3 components. Legs. Your legs provide you with power. As you slide, bend that knee, your sliding leg, bend it so that you have an interior angle of approximately 90 to 120 degrees. Now, the best way of figuring out if you have got that is by looking at it from a side view with a video and then just taking a guesstimate. That will help position your body to get down nice and low to release the ball. You want to release the ball essentially about 1 inch, even a ½ inch from the lane surface on a consistent basis. And you get down low in part by what you do with your legs. So your sliding leg is bent, and your trailing leg should be exactly that, trailing straight behind you. And I like to promote something called an anchored follow-through position, which is where you leave your trailing leg toe in contact with the lane surface. Now, for those that throw faster, that will be an impossibility. However, the idea and the notion behind your trailing leg and an anchored follow-through position is that if you keep that trailing leg anchored straight behind you, you assure that your shoulders stay square with the lanes and with the pins that you're aiming for. So, trailing leg straight behind you, not swaying off to the left or the right. If your leg sways off to the left or to the right, basically what you've done is set up a scenario where your shoulders are turned away from your target and you'll end up having to compensate. That may be a compensation by overlifting the ball. It may be a compensation by you turning your arm swing a bit to compensate for it. Okay, torso. Your torso should be like that of an airplane taking off from a runway, like that. All of you bowling school people, you've heard that saying so many times. An airplane taking off from a runway. It's that simple. Case closed. Oftentimes, for the vast majority of bowlers, that begins to take shape as you end your first step. Now, we're not going to talk about the details of, well, when exactly. That's not the issue, okay? That allows you to reach and extend with your whole body towards your target. So, torso, arm, well, your balance arm is not touching the ground and not touching your body. Oftentimes we will see bowlers starting out and they tend to lean over on their leg. Let's keep your arm, your balance arm, off your body parts and off the floor. It's there to help balance your body. That's all. Your throwing arm will reach and extend towards your target and end approximately ear height. Approximately, give or take a couple of inches. Your anchored follow-through position will help prevent you from overextending. In other words, standing up as you throw the ball. When you overextend, you take your body out of the equation of supporting your follow through, and consequently your follow through is more like a loose piece of spaghetti. It becomes nothing more than what your arm can provide. And as much as your arm provides the final impetus to follow through and to hit your target, using your whole body is much more proficient. So legs, bend, get down, torso, airplane taken off from a runway, and balance arm out to the side, not on your body, not on the floor, and your throwing arm extending and reaching towards your target and ending approximately ear height, top of your ear, somewhere in there. Okay? All right. I said last week this would be less than 7 minutes, and it is not, but it's still good. Thank you. successdrivenlogic@gmail.com. If you have any questions, drop me a note. If you're interested in picking up one of the books, Success Driven Logic or the companion workbook, drop me a note. successdrivenlogic@gmail.com. Thanks. Take care. Have a good week.